This week, words, words, words. I would like to start this week off by talking about the relationship between President Lincoln and Major General George B. McClellan. It's not good. You see, Lincoln picked McClellan because of his string of victories in the West. By West, I mean west of the Eastern Front. Lincoln really hasn't paid that much attention to the Western Front so far. They were rapid, and for the time during the early stages of the war, pretty good. So, after McDowell's failure at Bull Run, it seemed natural. But since Bull's Bluff, McClellan hasn't even bothered making any offensive motion. He just isn't living up to the expectations. But Lincoln can't do anything. McClellan is very popular, and if you tried to remove him or even push him too far, it could blow up in his face, and he could have an angry populace on top of an angry Congress. On the 29th, Lord Palmerston, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, holds a meeting with his ministers. He starts off pretty angry. He throws his hat on the table and says to them, "I don't know whether you are going to stand this, but I'll be damned if I do." That sets the tone of the meeting. He is adamant that British power is not being respected. He demands that all budget reductions for the military be stopped. Wilkes' actions were illegal and unjustifiable by international law. The San Jacinto assumed to act as a belligerent, but the Trent was not captured or carried into a port of the United States for education as a prize, and, under the circumstances, cannot be considered as having acted in a breach of international law. It follows that from on board a merchant ship of a neutral power, pursuing a lawful and innocent voyage, certain individuals have been taken by force. Her Majesty's government's will, therefore, in our opinion, be justified in requiring reparation for the international wrong which has been, on this occasion, committed. The next day, Queen Victoria asks Prince Albert to review the situation, and Albert sends word to Palmerston. The Queen should have liked to have seen the expression of a hope in the message to seaward, that the American captain did not act under instructions, or, if he did, that he misapprehended them, and that the United States government must be fully aware that the British government could not allow its flag to be insulted, the security of her mail communications to be placed in jeopardy, and that Her Majesty's government are unwilling believe that the United States government intended wantonly to put an insult upon this country, to add to their many distressing complications by forcing a question of dispute upon us. We are therefore glad to believe they would spontaneously offer such redress as alone could satisfy this country, viz., restoration of the unfortunate passengers and a suitable apology. On the 1st of December, Palmerston sends all of these demands, and some of his own, to D.C. They are expected in 2 to 3 weeks. And on December the 3rd, President Lincoln addresses Congress. He highlights past victories, thanks them for their current support, and hopes it continues, and asks for more funds to be allowed to quell the rebellion. Then, there is Sickles. Do you remember last week, Professor Lau arrived in Sickles' camp and showed off his amazing invention? Well, this week, Sickles goes up in the air. In fact, with a picture of George Washington on one side of the balloon. What does he see? Mass Confederate camps. He does good spy work and comes back down. The journey is quite interesting. He's enthralled by the hot air balloon, and we'll probably see a few more trips in the weeks to come. Hello, it's the entire Civil War week by week team here. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to see more, there should be a playlist of the entire series up till now so you can get all caught up. And if you have problems with commitment, there should just be a suggested video. Please subscribe if you want to see more about how this deadly conflict will play out. If you don't subscribe, I'll just tell Lincoln about your treasonous ways. Lincoln!